What's poppin' everybody? It's Roll94 on the Whimsy Players channel, and today I'm going to show you guys my yellow Egghead Luffy deck that I've been using the past lots of matches. So now that we have EB3 Heroines is out, there are a couple of changes I would make, but I decided to show you guys the deck, how I've used it the past time. And I believe this sim hasn't had an update in a while, so if you try and use like the EB3 cards, the game won't let you, because I tried to in a different deck and the deck was supposed to be not legal. But anyway, maybe I'm making a mistake. So anyway, Monkey D. Luffy from the Egghead starter deck. He doesn't really have anything going on for him except the 6 life. That's it. The effect where you can discard a card and draw 1 when you're at 2 life or left is pretty much just helps you regulate your hand and maybe get rid of stuff you don't need. But you don't get a plus out of him. It's not like other leaders where they are going to give you free cards like Boa and Ace and others. But as an Egghead and a Straw Hat Luffy leader, he does have some exclusive cards that work only for him and a bunch of other good yellow cards we can use with him. So I thought is a good like trigger yellow deck with a lot of life. And it worked out. I was right in my assessment. It's a decent leader. Maybe not the best, but you can put in a lot of work, especially if you get lucky. So we got Usopp from OP07, an Egghead card. Trigger, 2k. The trigger is you get 2000, and this is going to be on your next turn as well. So if they hit this, well, they've still got a bunch of attacks. You get the defense, and then you get that offense next turn. He's also a 2000 counter, so I think it's a great card, running at 4. I got one of the Shirahoshi. I really like this cheap blocker, even though she doesn't have, any attack. It's not like those 2000 blockers, but it doesn't matter because it doesn't really make much difference. However, if she is around and they kill her by an effect, you get a free life, so she does her job no matter what. So I think she's great. Run 1 because unfortunately she's not a Egghead or Straw Hat card, so she kind of conflicts with our searchers. So you got to be careful with running a lot of these non-theme cards because they mess with your searchers, and it happened to me quite a few times actually in games too. If you guys see them, you see that I miss with the searchers quite a few times sometimes. Anyway, got the double Capone Veggies. So again, to go with the theme of not being a Egghead or Straw Hat card, I'm doing 2, and he's sort of a replacement is the Zoro, doing 2 of this guy and 2 of Veggie as opposed to all Veggies. Zoro is an Egghead card. He's not 2k in hand. The fact that you can rest though sometimes can give you some other useful implications instead of just preventing something to attack. Like you can rest a block or something. But Veggie for the most part is probably going to be the better card. It's just that he's not thematic in this deck, so he conflicts with the searchers. So I'm doing 2 and 2. But these guys, they're basically going to stop an attack. If your opponent hits this trigger, you can stop an attack basically. And that's very powerful. Then I've got this Nico Robin from OP7 again. She's just an 1000 in hand, but her trigger is you draw 2. And I kind of like this. I mean, at the end of the day, she's not dead in hand. So if you have her, if you just, let's say at the start of the game, you open with 3 of them in hand, then you might want a mulligan. But, if she's in hand, she doesn't end up in the triggers, you can still discard her and block some attacks, so she's good enough. Never want to summon her, of course. Then we got the Lilith. So this is a 3 for 5000 searcher. The trigger doesn't matter because our leader is not Vegapunk, unfortunately, but she's still a searcher for Egghead cards other than Lilith. So because she can't search other Lilith cards, this is why I decided not to run the cost 1 searcher Lilith that basically lets you get a bunch of Egghead stuff again. And I put in meticulous thought into every little card that's in here with the searches and stuff. So that's why I thought, you know what, I can't do the other Lilith if I'm going to do this one. So this one is a good card because the stats are good basically for the cost, the 3 5000 standard. She's a searcher, and even though you can't get her trigger effect, she still counts as a trigger card. So when you want to get rid of her from the hand, you don't want to summon her and she's kind of dead, you can still discard her with the Zoro. So that's pretty good. Next up, we got Charlotte Brûlée. I'm going to miss this card if it does go away with the rotation. I guess this guy too. But yeah, I like my blocker, like trigger cards. So I run this card. It's not Egghead, no Straw Hat, just a trigger blocker. I like it. So max her out. And then we got Kikunojo as well, just 2 copies. I mean, when you get her down at the right time, especially through the triggers, when your opponent has low life, she's amazing. But she can be kind of dead sometimes too. Now, again, because she counts as trigger, we can get rid of her from the hand with Zoro. But I don't want to do more than 2 copies. She's a non-Egghead, Straw Hat character once again. And she's dead in hand. So, you know, decent 4. Great stats, great effect, great trigger. We got a lot of other 4s and 3s. I mean, we got Lilith Summon, we got the Sanji I'm going to talk about next. So 2 copies I think is good enough. I mean, we don't have space for everything. All right. Then I got the Sanji from the starter deck. So this is your Straw Hat Searcher. And that's basically it. 5 for 4, 1,000 in hand, trigger. He's basically a free, if you discard a card to summon him down and then you get a search, he's like a free trigger summon, so he's good. So great card, max it out the way I run the deck here. Again, you can sometimes miss the search, I've noticed. He can't get other Sanji, so he can't get himself. But you only get Straw Hats. I wish you could get Egghead cards too, since it's like an Egghead Sanji. Anyway, then we got the Nico Robin from the starter deck. So one of the benefits of using Luffy, you got her. She's a 2k in hand and a blocker. Cost 4 too. So she's good. Max her out. I think it's self-explanatory. I mean, great trigger. Touched upon the Zoro. Next up, I got the one of SS Snake. So this is one of the cards that it'd be one of the first cards I take out. Running some newer cards that are better. But I did have this in the deck. Just a one of. It very rarely works. By the time you can summon it, your opponent either just doesn't have some good shit down you're going to negate, or they got some useless shit, so you're not going to get the value. And then later on, when they're summoning big characters, you can't do anything with her. You can just basically discard her from the hand. That's it. But, I mean, she's kind of alright still, I want to say. It sucks that you can't target the Luffy too. Because there's a lot of Luffy cards, so, you know, it's a drawback. 5 for 6, 1,000 in hand. You also get the trigger, I guess, but you don't get the summoner. So, alright, I guess. He's going to kind of work as another Zoro or Beji in a way. Perhaps. So I keep her in, but maybe you could take her out for a better card if you want to do like another Kikunojo. Maybe you want to run more of Kuma. But yeah, I have her in. I'm going to show you guys the deck as I had her. As I had it. Next up, the Kuma, do double of this guy. So this guy is very, very powerful, but if you see him at the wrong time, he can also kind of suck. You want to see him, like really, when you're at 6, maybe you got some useless cards in hand, that's when you want to summon him, when you're still pretty healthy. So he can just stay around and be a nuisance for your opponent. So then if they kill him, you get the free life, or if they don't kill him, then he can just keep attacking. But when you're almost dead and it's the only thing you can do just to play this guy, sometimes it doesn't work out. Maybe I should run more of him. I should like do 3, maybe drop her. But I've tested with 2. This gotta keep in mind, this guy is not an Egghead card technically. It's just Revolutionary Army and 7 Warlords of the Sea, I believe, right? Yeah. This bitch is an Egghead though, so it's another reason why I'm thinking might as well have a bitch like this that you can be searched. But yeah, Kuma, broken ass card. If you want to do more copies, it might not be bad since you can always discard him from the hand. Got Jinbei, 2k and trigger. That's about it. Max him out. Another Luffy card. And then Zoro. I maxed this guy out as well because he's good stats. Rush, the free Dawn every turn. Your opponent has to deal with him. Otherwise, you're just going to keep getting a Dawn. discarding a trigger and then drawing one. So it's essentially like a free effect. You get the Dawn every turn. Now, if you don't have a trigger card in hand, then yeah, you can't use this, but it's still a pretty good card. I like the fact that he's Rush. I wish he was Rush on anything. But being Rush character is still pretty good. You can put that pressure immediately. Egghead card, Straw Hat card. Pretty good. Then we got the Big Mom. So this would probably, not probably, I would take her out for the Nico Robin from EB3. Essentially almost the same thing. Nico Robin is kind of going to force you to trash your cards. So maybe you lose a card that you didn't want to lose. But you basically, it's the same thing. You're going to get one life at the end. And when Robin gets killed, she hits your opponent for life, I believe. But anyway, I ran the deck with the Linlins. She's still pretty good. You know, you get that free life or your opponent has to lose a life. Broken stuff. So yeah, 3 of her. That's another reason why I didn't want to, like, you know, overdo Kuma. Because with this guy, you got to discard to get the free life. This bitch is just gonna, it's a free effect. Your opponent has to choose your fate or their fate, but you don't gotta pay a cost. And then against blue, sometimes you're not gonna get this guy's other effect off. They're just gonna, either your opponent's gonna play around him, not attack him, or just remove him in a way that you don't get the plus. So that's, I guess, the different benefits of Lin versus this guy. Okay. And then the last cards, we got the boss characters. I got 4 of Julie Bonnie. Might be the best card in a way because she's broken. Great stats, free life. Your opponent loses on summon and then rush. That's essentially, it's almost like she's attacking for double life in a way. Pretty good. The trigger is pretty random and I don't think you ever want to do it. If you get this card, you want to keep her. You don't want to use the trigger to summon her. But I guess maybe it can come up if you have 1 life or less. Rest up to one of your opponent's characters with a cost of 7 or less. It's just very situational. But she does count as a trigger card too. And then Ace, I do the 1 Ace. Again, with the theme of this deck, giving us life. And then if you're nearly dead and you play this guy, he also gets Rush. He's decent. He's like a worse Bonnie, but he's decent still. I mean, I can't run more than 4 Bonnie. And this is my Egghead Luffy deck, guys. I'm not sure if the other decks that run the deck run it like this, but this is the way I run it. I believe I do have a lot of cards that I think their techs other people wouldn't favor. Like, I like this Robin, I like this Usopp. A lot of these, like, OP7 cards. I still like Ace, I like Lin, like my Brûlé. Not sure if other decks run this card too, but yeah, I've explained the card choices. Hopefully you see the logic in them. And yeah, if they just keep giving us Egghead or trigger cards, this guy's gonna get even better. The stuff in EB3, get some good stuff. Alright, this is the deck profile, guys. I'm showing this because I'm gonna move on to a different deck now. So hope you guys enjoyed it. Subscribe to the channel, leave a like, share the video with your friends, and I'll see you guys next time. What a